My precious child, the fact that your eyes are reading these words right now is no accident. In this sacred season, when the heavens draw closer to earth, when miracles walk among ordinary moments, you have been guided here for a reason that will soon become clear. While countless others scrolled past this message, dismissing the gentle pull on their heart, you paused. You felt something. That single moment of obedience has already set in motion a divine appointment that will alter the trajectory of your entire existence. Listen carefully to what I am about to reveal. During this extraordinary time of year, when the world celebrates hope and new beginnings, there is a thinning of the barriers between the seen and unseen realms. The atmosphere itself shifts, carrying possibilities that do not exist in ordinary seasons. You have felt it, have you not? That inexplicable stirring in your chest, that restlessness that wakes you in the quiet hours, that sense that something massive is hovering just beyond your perception, waiting to break through. This is not your imagination playing tricks. This is reality knocking on the door of your consciousness, inviting you into a transformation so complete that you will barely recognize yourself when it finishes its work. But I must tell you something that will pierce your heart. All around you are souls who have received this same invitation, yet they turn away. They feel the tug, sense the call, recognize the whisper of their own spirit trying to wake them up, but they bury it beneath layers of distraction and denial. Sign after sign appears in their path, divine breadcrumbs leading them toward the love that could resurrect their dying hope, but they step over each one as if it were trash on the sidewalk. They have built walls so thick around their hearts that even the most obvious miracles cannot penetrate. I have watched them during these sacred weeks when joy is supposed to fill the air. I have seen them sit alone in crowded rooms, scrolling through other people's happiness, feeling more isolated than ever. I whispered to them through the unexpected kindness of strangers, through songs that made their throat tighten with emotion they could not name, through dreams that felt more real than their waking life. I placed people directly in front of them who spoke the exact words they needed to hear, creating moments so perfectly timed that coincidence could not explain them. Yet they shrugged it off, credited random chance, and kept walking in the same direction that has been slowly killing them. You know these people. You have seen the carefully curated images they project to the world, the highlight reels of a life that looks enviable from the outside. Their achievements are impressive, their possessions abundant, their experiences adventurous. But if you look closely at their eyes in unguarded moments, you will see something else entirely. Behind the bright smile is a weariness that no amount of sleep can cure. Beneath the confident exterior is a trembling uncertainty about whether any of this matters. They have built their entire identity on foundations of sand, and deep in their soul they know the tide is coming. The emptiness they feel is not a character flaw or chemical imbalance, though they have tried to treat it as such. It is the natural consequence of a soul separated from its source, like a cell phone that grows more desperate as the battery drains, searching frantically for a charge that will bring it back to life. I have sent them warnings throughout this season, not as threats from an angry deity, but as rescue attempts from a love that refuses to give up. Every discomfort, every disruption, every moment when their carefully controlled life wobbled off balance, that was me trying to get their attention before they wander so far into darkness that finding their way back becomes nearly impossible. But pride is a slow poison that distorts perception. They began trusting the world's glittering promises more than my unchanging truth. They labeled their rebellion as independence and my guidance as restriction. They convinced themselves that happiness meant freedom from accountability, that fulfillment came through self-determination, that they were the masters of their own destiny. So they pushed forward, accumulating and achieving, networking and positioning, always striving, never arriving. The world dangled satisfaction just beyond their reach, and they kept chasing, kept hoping that the next accomplishment would finally fill the void. Now, during these long winter nights when the year draws to a close and reflection becomes unavoidable, the truth begins to seep through their defenses. The restlessness intensifies. The pleasure they sought leaves them emptier than before. The power they gained isolated them from genuine connection. The approval they chased evaporated the moment they stopped performing. They tried to silence the voice of their own soul with constant noise and perpetual motion, but eventually everyone runs out of energy. In the stillness that finally comes, in the space between distractions, the emptiness roars like an ocean in a shell pressed against their ear. This is not punishment, my child. This is consequence. This is what happens when a human being tries to exist apart from the love that created them. The ache they feel is homesickness for a home they have never seen but somehow remember. The desperation in their chest is the cry of their true self, buried beneath layers of false identity, begging to be remembered and reclaimed. Some of them have lived entire decades in this state, walking through their days like ghosts, going through motions that mean nothing, smiling on cue while dying on the inside. They pass by miracles daily and see only ordinary events. They experience my intervention in their circumstances and credit their own intelligence or random luck. They feel my presence in moments of unexpected beauty or overwhelming emotion, then explain it away with psychology and brain chemistry. The walls they have constructed around their hearts are so familiar now that they mistake the prison for safety. I stand at the entrance of their inner world and knock with patient persistence, year after year, season after season, but the door remains locked from the inside. Some of them have everything their younger self dreamed of obtaining. The career exceeded expectations. The bank account provides comfort. The relationship looks good in photographs. The lifestyle impresses acquaintances. And yet, in the honest moments they rarely allow themselves, they feel absolutely nothing. No satisfaction, no peace, no sense of meaning or purpose. Just an endless treadmill of wanting and getting and wanting something else. A hunger that consumes but is never satisfied. This is the hell they live in, one of their own construction, built brick by brick through choices that seemed small at the time but accumulated into a prison. Understand this. I am not punishing them. I do not stand in heaven hurling lightning bolts at people who disappoint me. They are simply experiencing what happens when a soul insists on living disconnected from its life source. A branch severed from the tree does not die immediately. For a while it still looks alive, might even appear healthy, but it has no access to the roots, no connection to nourishment, and eventually, the death that was always inevitable becomes obvious to everyone. They are withering, and no amount of external decoration can hide it forever. My heart breaks for them in ways human language cannot capture. If you could feel for 1 second the grief I carry for every lost and wandering soul, you would collapse under the weight. I do not celebrate their suffering. I do not feel vindicated when their choices lead to pain. Every time they ignore my voice, every time they choose the comfort of familiar dysfunction over the discomfort of transformation, it shatters me all over again. I watch them medicate their emptiness with substances and behaviors that slowly destroy them. I see them give their hearts to people who only want to use them. I observe them climbing ladders leaned against the wrong buildings, sacrificing everything for goals that will mean nothing in the end. It devastates me because I am what they are searching for. I am the acceptance they are killing themselves trying to earn from people who will never give it. I am the peace they are chasing from one false promise to another. I am the love that will never betray them, never leave them, never use them for my own purposes. And I have been right here the entire time, closer than their own breath, waiting with infinite patience for them to stop running and turn around. Some of them will eventually hit a bottom so hard that it knocks the denial out of them. When everything they built collapses, when everyone they trusted abandons them, when their health fails or their mind breaks or their life falls apart so completely that they cannot pretend anymore, they will finally look up. And even then, even after years of rejection and rebellion, I will not turn them away. Even then, I will run toward them with open arms, like a father sprinting toward a child who finally found their way home. My mercy has no expiration date. My love has no limit. There is no such thing as too late or too much or too far. But others are still running, even now. Even in this sacred season when my presence is so tangible you could almost reach out and touch it. They see the light breaking into their darkness and they close their eyes tighter. They know the truth, but they reject it because truth requires change, and they are terrified of losing control. They have invested so much in the false version of themselves that admitting it was all a lie feels impossible. So they mock what is holy, dismiss what is true, and convince themselves they are escaping judgment when really they are escaping peace. Their hell is happening right now, not in some future afterlife. It is the distance they feel from anything real or meaningful. It is a heart that cannot rest no matter what they try. It is a mind that races endlessly toward nothing. It is laughter that dies too quickly and silence that feels suffocating. They lie awake at 3 a.m, staring into darkness, feeling something missing but unable to name it. That missing piece is me. It has always been me. The warnings I send are not designed to scare them into compliance. They are rescue attempts from a love that sees danger they cannot perceive. Every time I whisper in their spirit to avoid a certain path, it is because I can see the destruction waiting around the corner. Every time I allow something in their life to fall apart, it is because I am saving them from a greater collapse later. But they interpret my intervention as interference. They mistake my delay for denial, my correction for rejection, my silence for absence. They completely misunderstand my heart. And when regret finally breaks through their defenses, it comes like a flood that sweeps away everything they thought they knew. They remember every ignored sign, every dismissed whisper, every moment their soul reached for me and they pushed it down. They realize how close I was, how simple it would have been to surrender sooner. how much pain they could have avoided. That awareness burns hotter than any flame, a fire of realization that consumes from within. Yet even in their deepest regret, I extend my hand again, because as long as breath remains in their lungs, redemption remains possible. This season could be their turning point. These weeks could mark the moment everything changes. Not because of something magical in the calendar, but because they finally stop resisting and fall into the arms that have been reaching for them all along. But you, my beloved child, you are different. You stopped scrolling, you started reading, you opened your heart just enough for my words to slip through the cracks in your defenses. So let me speak directly to the places you have kept hidden, the wounds you show no one, the fears that wake you in the darkness. I have been with you through every moment you thought you were alone. When you cried where no one could hear, I collected every tear. When you smiled to hide your pain, I saw the truth beneath. When you tried to be strong while everything inside you was crumbling, I was holding you together. You have never been abandoned, not for a single second, though I know it has felt that way. I am closer to you than the air filling your lungs. Every heartbeat is my love keeping you alive. Every sunrise is my promise that I am still here, still working, still planning good things for your future. Every time your broken heart finds the courage to hope again, that is me moving inside you, refusing to let you quit. You have always belonged to me. Before you took your first breath, I knew you completely and loved you absolutely. This world has tried to convince you that you are insignificant, just one among billions, easily replaced and quickly forgotten. But that is a lie designed to keep you from discovering who you really are. You were created with specific intention, for a unique purpose that no one else can fulfill. The pain you have endured was not meant to destroy you, but to prepare you for what I have been preparing for you. Every season you have walked through, even the ones that felt endless and dark, was teaching you something essential. Every closed door was protection from a path that would have harmed you. Every loss cleared space for something better. Every disappointment redirected you toward your true destination. You thought I was silent during those times, but I was working in ways you could not see, moving pieces you were unaware of, orchestrating circumstances beyond your perception. You thought I abandoned you when you needed me most, but I was carrying you through storms so fierce that full awareness would have paralyzed you with terror. I shielded you from dangers you will never know about. I removed people who would have destroyed you. I delayed blessings until you were ready to steward them properly. Everything I did or allowed came from love, even when it hurt, even when you could not understand. You have searched for love in so many wrong places, hoping someone would finally see you and choose you and stay with you. I watched you pour your whole heart into people who could never love you properly. I observed you chasing approval from those who barely noticed your existence. You believed that if you could just become the right version of yourself, achieve the right level of success, or find the right person, you would finally feel complete. But you are already complete in me. You were made whole the moment I created you. You do not need to earn my love through perfection. You do not need to fix yourself before approaching me. I loved you when you were lost, when you were broken, when you did not even believe I existed. My love is nothing like what you have experienced from people. The world loves when it benefits them, when you have something to offer. But I love you even when you run from me. The world abandons people when they become difficult or damaged. But I pursue you into your darkest places. My love does not diminish with time or distance. It is eternal, unshakable, and more powerful than anything that could ever oppose you. You may not fully grasp this yet, but soon you will look back and see clearly what is hidden from you now. You will understand that every tear had meaning, every delay was divine timing, every unanswered prayer was answered with something better than you requested. You will see my fingerprints all over your story, and you will weep with gratitude. I have been speaking to you through so many channels, through unexpected kindness that brought tears, through words that seemed written specifically for your situation, through moments that made you pause and feel something larger than yourself. That was me, reminding you that I am real, that I am here, that my plan for your life is still active and unfolding. I do not make mistakes, and you are not one. You are not a disappointment or a failure. You are not too damaged to be used for something beautiful. You have a specific assignment on this earth. You carry something this world desperately needs. But to step into that calling, you must let me into the places you have kept locked. Let me heal what you have been hiding. Let me touch the wounds that still ache when you remember them. I know trust is hard after betrayal. I know belief is difficult after disappointment. But I am not like the people who hurt you. I do not promise and then abandon. I do not love and then leave. When I say I will never forsake you, I mean it with everything in me. When I say you are forgiven, it is already finished. You are not defined by your worst moments. You are what I say you are. You are mine, chosen for this specific time in history. You are loved beyond measure. You are still capable of incredible things that will echo into eternity. Do not let shame convince you that it is too late. I specialize in bringing life from what appears dead. I turn ashes into beauty, despair into hope, endings into beginnings. I can take your entire past and use it to create a future more beautiful than anything you lost. My child, I want you to rest now. You've been carrying burdens that were never yours to bear. Lay them down. All the guilt, shame, fear, and pressure to have it all figured out. Release it. You do not need to be strong every moment. Let me be your strength. You do not need to understand everything right now. Just trust me. Trust that I see what you cannot. Your worries about tomorrow are wasted energy because tomorrow is already in my hands. When doors slam shut, that is direction, not rejection. When people leave, that is protection, not loss. When you feel empty, I am creating space for something greater. Be patient. Healing takes time, but you are not waiting in vain. Dreams I planted in you are still alive, still possible. You may think it is too late, but nothing is too late for me. I can resurrect what you thought died years ago. You are exactly where you need to be for what comes next. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. What I am doing in you is custom designed for your unique purpose. What I will do through you will impact lives in ways you cannot yet imagine. Sometimes I allow you to feel weak so you learn dependence on me. Sometimes I lead you through storms so you discover I am the peace in chaos. You have seen what the world offers. Now let me show you what true peace feels like, the kind that remains steady when circumstances are chaotic. You keep asking for proof that I am real, but beloved, you are the proof. The fact that you are still here, still standing, still seeking after everything you have endured, that is evidence of my grace. Most people could not have survived what you carried. Yet here you are, still hoping. That is not weakness. That is extraordinary strength. That is faith. Do not let fear control you anymore. When anxiety rises and your mind races, stop and breathe. I am right there. Speak my name and you will sense me. You do not need fancy prayers. I hear your heart's language. Your tears speak louder than words. You have asked why? Why you? Why this pain? And I answer, because I see something in you that you cannot see yet. I chose you not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. I can use anyone who is willing. I can rebuild what this world destroyed. If you are reading this, whether during this blessed season or months from now, this is your moment. Some of you will feel moved to share this message because what touched your heart could save someone else's life. When you share this with others, you become part of a chain of love reaching people I have been pursuing. If something in these words grabbed your heart, please share it. Let it reach those who are one step from giving up. And if you feel moved to support this mission, there is a link in the description where you can contribute. Every coffee you give goes to feed poor children in your name. Imagine a child receiving nourishment because you chose generosity. That is love in action. You do not need to give much. Even the smallest amount matters when given from the heart. When you bless others, you open the door for blessings to flood your own life. Right now, I want you to comment, Amen. After you type it, write one wish, one hope, one dream you believe will manifest. Not someday far away, but soon. When you declare it with faith, you partner with heaven to see it become reality. Your wish is not random. It is a seed I planted in your heart, and this is its season to grow. Comment it, declare it, believe it, then watch. This season is unlike any other in your life. Something is shifting in the atmosphere over your circumstances. You are standing at the edge of breakthrough. Everything that tried to destroy you was actually positioning you for this moment. Every tear watered the ground for harvest. Every battle trained you for victory. Every loss cleared space for unprecedented gain. What is coming will not look like you expected. It will be better, bigger, beyond anything you could orchestrate yourself. When I move, I do not do small things. I overflow. I exceed. I do immeasurably more than you could ask or imagine. So lift your head now, beloved. You are not your past. You are my promise in human form. The same power that created galaxies lives in you. You are not weak. You are chosen for strength. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You are not lost. You are being found. When you doubt your worth, remember I gave everything to prove it. When you feel alone, remember I am closer than your breath. When you want to give up, remember I am not finished with you. This world will try to define you by mistakes, but I define you by my mercy. You belong here. You belong in this moment. This is your time. Take courage. Forgive yourself. Start fresh. Walk with me, and I will show you beauty where there was pain, purpose where there was loss, joy where there was sorrow. You are not here by accident. I orchestrated this moment. I am reminding you that you are loved beyond comprehension. You are seen. fully known, still completely loved. You are heard, every prayer, every cry, and you are not alone, not now, not ever. Keep your heart open, keep listening. I am speaking in ways you will recognize more clearly each day. I am not distant. I am your father, your friend, your constant companion. Even now, I am working in your life, turning pain into purpose, tears into testimony. Stay close to me. Trust me. I will lead you to peace. When you cannot see forward, remember, my hand holds yours. You are mine always, and nothing can ever change that. Amen.